The bloodbath has happened. There is utter shock at who he has brought in. Factionalism is in the cabinet, and it's making the Labour Party fight like cats stuck in a sack. A civil war with Labour is imminent. Burnham's choice to be loose with fiscal rules, and he's saying, I'll spend as much as I can do within the fiscal rules. Spending is already spooking the markets. If he continues, it'll be as bad as Liz Truss.
This could be the undoing of Burnham. He's already been humiliated by one of Starmer's best mates.
This may be Starmer's smartest and darkest move ever. Hello and welcome to today's Daily Expresso. I'm JJ Anisiobi and I'm joined by Daily Express Associate Editor, the straight talker, James Walker. James, Andy Burnham, we've got a new Prime Minister. Everything that we said would happen has happened. The people I said would get have officially been the people who said who would be pulled in have been pulled in. The only one I said would be left standing at the end of it all was Shabana Mahmood, and lo and behold, we were correct. Everyone else was wrong. Shabana Mahmood has kept her position, but the bloodbath has happened. There is utter shock at who he has brought in. Factionalism is in the cabinet, and it's making the Labour Party fight like cats stuck in a sack. They are going at each other now. I'm telling you, mate, a civil war with Labour is imminent.
Oh, definitely, mate. Like, he's in trying to help his friends, he's made a ton of enemies, right? He's now got, who's he got? He's got Rachel Reeves.
Yep.
Darren Jones, who's already taken a pop at him. We'll talk about that later. He's already taken a pop at him this morning. He's got David Lammy, etc., on the backbench, out for his blood.
Yeah.
Right? They want to see him fail. Whatever they might say, you know, they'll say in public, like, we want to see Labour succeed.
Yeah.
We want to see the country succeed.
They don't.
In private, down the pub last night, you know, those pictures came out of Keir
Yeah.
Starmer and his gang down the pub last night. I bet you they're all saying over a pint, like, how quickly can we do him over? Yeah. How can we make this a nightmare for him, right?
Yeah.
He's created a ton of enemies, and to be honest, some of his early moves have proved controversial already, haven't they, JJ? Do you want to run through the appointments? I mean,
okay, so Shabana Mahmood kept a job. We said here exclusively on this show last week, Shabana Mahmood would keep a job, but behind closed doors, Andy Burnham was going to say to her, tone down the rhetoric a little bit. We don't want to lean too much towards reform and restore. We want you to keep doing a tough job, but we don't want you to be saying it out loud. So that's what's happened to Shabana. She's kept a job. Great for her. Angela Rayner, the ginger growler, as Mark Dolan calls her. The ginger growler is back in her old role as housing minister, which I said, again on this show, she's probably going to want her old job back.
To be fair, you did say that, and I said to you, no chance, because she was she found to not pay council tax on a house. But apparently that doesn't bother Burnham quite so much.
Not at all.
Anyway, interesting decision. Streeting back as defence minister, that's one that's proved quite controversial, right, JJ?
Extremely so.
What's the deal with that? You've heard something.
I was at the House of Lords yesterday chatting to my mates around there, and apparently where Streeting had asked, in his dealings to stop him from running for leader, he had asked for two positions. One of them being defence minister. The other one was that he wanted to be his old portfolio back as health secretary. Now, he's gotten defence, which has angered beyond belief many of the Labour MPs, because the frontrunner for defence was Al Khan's, a highly decorated military hero. Who knows more about the military and defence than someone who actually has served in it and lived it?
And to put West Streeting in place, he sacked Dan Jarvis, who I believe is a former serving soldier himself as well.
Exactly.
So he's got two people on the backbenchers who are instantly 10 times more qualified than the man also known as West Streeting. They really enjoyed that in the comments last week. We'll bring it back every week, same time. He's put all those people on the backbenchers. Again, he's fomenting all of this potential rebellion on his backbenchers.
Yeah.
Right? There's going to be more arguments over defence spending cuts. Now West Street is going to have to defend them in the face of criticism from former serving soldiers.
Yep.
This guy who's just done nothing but politics his whole life.
Indeed.
Looks a bit like a baby. He's really having a tough time. And then Louise Haigh is another one that's been quite controversial. JJ, what's been going on there?
You might remember she resigned under Starmer because it resurfaced that 15 years ago now, I think it is. She'd been mugged. She reported her phone stolen to the cops. And then a few months later, she found the phone again and didn't report to the cops and say, oh, by the way, I found this phone. Now, people were saying she's a criminal, she's a fraudster. She got let off on, I think it was conditional discharge, something like that. Some nothingness that would not affect her becoming an MP, would not affect her in any other job in life either. But of course, anyone who is against her is saying she's a criminal, shouldn't be there. I seem to recall there being a Reform MP who had been done for viciously beating his girlfriend and going to juvenile detention centre for it and whatever and whatnot. And Farage and Co came out and defended him when he became a Reform MP.
They did get rid of him.
They didn't get rid of him. They didn't get rid of him, and they said he made a mistake. He paid his debt to society. And actually, I agree with that. What's the point of having a prison system and a justice system if no matter how much time you serve in jail, you're never allowed to rebuild your life?
There is something to that, yeah. I think they did remove the whip from that guy, James
They did eventually.
McMurdoch or something like that.
Because his tweets became wild.
Yeah.
He became quite unhinged. But this woman,
like you say, if you've got a bit of a past, how long that should hang over your head is a fair question. But look, I mean,
would you? I would. If my house got robbed and I said, "Oh yeah, my phone got stolen," and then 6 months later I realised, "Oh, it was under the bed the whole time," I wouldn't think to myself, "Let me go back and tell the cops that I found the phone."
To be clear, I'm not criticising. I think she's served a penalty or whatever it is. Yeah. She's done penance. So I mean, let's bygones be bygones on a personal level. I think we're forgiving. But look, Burnham's made a mistake in a way, right? Yeah. He's opened up. The Daily Mail this morning, I think on their front page, said, in his first 12 hours or whatever, he's managed to appoint a convicted fraudster. And, make of that what you will, but it's still true, right? You can still run a headline, Telegraph have done it, Daily Mail have done it, probably we've done it. Saying, people are called, she's a convicted fraudster. That's the end of it, right? You can't...
you can't run away from it. That's going to haunt her.
It's going to hang over his head a bit. It's going to hang over his head a bit. Not as much as Ed Miliband as Foreign Secretary.
I don't understand this appointment.
No.
So essentially, what I'm told is Miliband wanted Chancellor.
Right.
Burnham initially had said, I think he'd be great at that job. Bit of gravy on the side. I think he'd be great at that. And then as Burnham realised from his advisors what a terrible decision that would be for the country to make Miliband Chancellor, he gave him another plum role as Foreign Secretary. How's he going to get to any of these meetings abroad? Mr. Eco, Mr. Net Zero. Is he going to cycle? Will he jump on Greta's flotilla? He'd have to do that, is he? Like, it just, I didn't like Lammy as Foreign Secretary.
No.
I don't like Miliband as Foreign Secretary either.
Miliband's going to prove quite difficult for Burnham as Foreign Secretary, right? A very difficult portfolio, especially with Donald Trump in charge over the pond. And Trump, quite rightly, in my opinion, has been deeply critical of the UK for not opening up licences to drill North Sea oil.
Drill, baby, drill.
Exactly. He points out quite rightly that we could get our own energy prices, which are sky high, right down if we just tried to access some of the natural resources at our disposal. Who was the guy who didn't want to have anything to do with North Sea oil? Ed Miliband. Who is the net zero zealot in Cabinet? Ed Miliband. And he's going to be having to do diplomacy with a man who hates net zero, hates all talk of renewable energy, and wants to drill oil, right? It's an incredibly awkward situation for him to be in. And Trump has already been sort of, before Burnham became officially Prime Minister, don't you remember JJ, he was saying that Burnham was extremely liberal and he wasn't too keen on his positions on North Sea oil, right? This is going to cause huge tension.
It is going to cause
huge tension. This could be the undoing of Burnham.
It could be. I don't think Ed Miliband is very well liked by the general country. He may be a learned scholar and he may be a hero to the Labour Party, but outside of that bubble, he's not liked at all. He's very much disliked. And I'll tell you what I dislike. When people take my phone number, take my email address, take my home address, and sell it on to other people who I never agreed to give it to.
This is why we pay you the big bucks.
This is why we pay me the big bucks.
That link was flawless.
So I want to talk to you about Incogni, okay? I talk to you about them all the time because they are that darn good. People, you might be getting spam emails or the rogue phone call. You signed up for this pets thing, pet insurance. Do you want to talk about? No, I didn't sign up for that. What are you talking about? That's because people are selling your data on to all these other companies, and that's why they're contacting you. But you can make it stop. All you do is go to Incogni, fill in the details, takes 2 minutes, then sit back and do nothing. Incogni take care of it all for you. They'll contact every single one of those companies and have your name, your email address, your phone number, your home address, have all those details removed from these rogue websites, and you won't be contacted ever again. It's that simple. And because we are working closely with them here at the Daily Expresso. We've managed to get you 60% off. That's 60% off for the first year. That's a huge saving. More savings than Andy Burnham is doing for your electricity bills, let me tell you. 60% off. So just go to the pinned comment below, click the link, go through, tell them JJ sent you. Now, James, let's move on to the big job, the new Chancellor.
Some would say we should have started with that one.
Yeah, you might think that, yeah. But John Healey, again, not outside of the world of politics, not a name or face people are going to pick out from a lineup, right?
Yeah.
And now the second biggest job in the country. My big concern with him is that he's a huge supporter of Labour Friends of Israel.
All right.
So I imagine the support and the money and the contracts we've been doing to support Israel are going to continue, which means for the hard left of the Labour Party, who are dead against us supporting Israel, they will not be happy with that at all.
Well, this is another appointment that has every potential to go sideways, right? Like you say, Labour love a bit of factional infighting, right?
Yeah.
They love a civil war. They're well up for it. This, like you say, if he's going to give more money to Israel, if he's going to give more money elsewhere, the far left of the party are going to be up in arms about that.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
100%. Up in arms. I was a little slow to the uptake there. Get me a coffee.
I think probably more distressing is, obviously, Healey was the guy who resigned over the defence budget not being increased.
Yes.
Right? He's a guy who's massively in favour of more spending for infrastructure investment, for industry, not necessarily bad things, but he doesn't seem to understand that there needs to be sacrifices elsewhere made as well to fund this stuff. And I think we're seeing a bit of that this morning, aren't we, JJ, with some of these spending promises. Markets have reacted pretty badly already.
They have. But Burnham's he's gonna reduce the tax paid on the lowest earners, probably abolish it altogether up to a certain point. He is also going to take off the VAT on electricity bills. He could go further than that. It's going to save us 45 quid a year, which people are saying, well, that's nothing, is it? I won't notice that £45 at the end of the year. Perhaps I won't. But he could. We're still paying net zero tariffs on our energy bills as well. He could remove that. That would bring us closer to £150 savings a year. But he's also going to scrap business rates in the hospitality sector, which good news for our pubs and restaurants. That's a good thing. But the market is reacting.
Well, exactly, JJ. Yeah, the market is in turmoil. They're freaking out about Andy Burnham already because he doesn't seem to know that you have to make savings in one area to spend in another. He's already been humiliated by one of Starmer's best mates this morning. Darren Jones, who used to be his chief secretary in Number 10.
He's finally got a backbone, Darren Jones.
Finally found his voice, shall we say, JJ? Found his voice. He's fired the first salvo in the Labour Civil War this morning. He said that basically Burnham was saying that he was going to fund this energy bill VAT cut by scrapping digital ID, saying that the money set aside for that could be moved to pay for this VAT cut. Well, look, Darren Jones has said, mate, we hadn't funded it. so that money that he thought was there wasn't there. It didn't exist. He took from a pot of money that was non-existent. He's been told straight away, he's been humiliated on the national stage, right?
Yes,
and the market's seeing this, right? This is all playing out in public. This was a tweet, right? The markets can see this. The traders can see this. And look, JJ, gilt yields have risen sharply, right? And that was not just because of this VAT promise, but because Burnham has said that he's going to be flexible on fiscal rules. This is what was the undoing of Liz Truss.
Yes.
And I think you want to talk a bit about this, don't you?
Well, this is it. Burnham's choice to be loose with fiscal rules. And he's saying, I'll spend as much as I can do within the fiscal rules. But spending is already spooking the markets. If it continues, it'll be as bad as Liz Truss. Today I'm hearing that the head of JP Morgan was supposed to be doing something like a £10 billion investment in building another tower here in Canary Wharf. He is now saying, I'm going to pause that for now because I'm not sure if Andy Burnham is Prime Minister that London is the best place for us to have our hub. I'm not sure if this is the best place for us to be providing financial services. That is what the UK is known for on the world stage, our financial services, our insurance. That is what we do better than anyone else. And for someone as big as JP Morgan to say, actually, let's hold fire in building that huge building, that is a terrible, terrible sign. And Burnham needs to double back and perhaps do a Keir Starmer style U-turn and start thinking about business rates across the whole of business, not just hospitality.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to get this investment from the likes of JP Morgan, you're off to a bit of a non-start.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And again, looking at the markets this morning, FTSE 100's down.
Yeah.
Right, and these gilt years going up. JJ, what that means is the whole central plank of Burnham's and John Healey's economic plan is borrow to invest to get the sort of economy back to where it needs to be. Not bad in principle. I fully agree. I'm not one of these sort of austerity types who wants to cut everything to the bone and just see what happens. So it doesn't work. We saw what happened in the early 2010s. It doesn't work. If the cost of borrowing goes up, when gilt yields go up, that's what that means. The cost of borrowing goes up.
Right.
They're not going to be able to afford any of their policy plans, right?
True.
So they're going to have to now spend the next couple of months being like reassuring the likes of JP Morgan that the UK is a good place to invest, but also to reassure the markets that, look, we're going to cut something here or there or increase the tax there.
I can tell them where to start.
Where?
Benefits.
Well, exactly.
Sorry, 1 in 3 working age men unable to work because they've got anxiety. That I come to work with anxiety all the time.
Yeah.
Like always have.
Yeah.
Like we need to get people back in work. We have to reduce the number of people on benefits. We have to. I know it sounds simpler than it is in practice. Well, we need to make the rules tighter and tougher for people to be able to say, no, actually, I'm not going to work today. I'm not going to work today. I'm not going to work for the next 2-3 years, actually, because my back hurts a bit and I get a bit anxious when I walk out the door.
Was it the number of people in that sort of 18 to 25 age bracket who are out of work and claiming benefits has skyrocketed? That's costing us a huge amount of money. They got rid of that child tax credit stuff as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which is, again, costing the UK a huge sum of money. They're going to have to go back on all this. And what that means, JJ, is they're going to be faced with 2 decisions. Now, they're going to be faced with 2 huge decisions that could be the spell doom for Andy Burnham, right? They're going to have to either increase taxes. They don't say they want to lower taxes on the lowest earners, right? So what does that mean? They have to increase taxes on the highest earners. What's that going to mean? Markets are going to go look at that and go, like you say, your friend JP Morgan.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to look at the UK but no, I'm all right.
Yeah.
That's right. So investment goes down. Bad for the economy. The other way around, right? If he goes, right, we're going to cut a load of welfare, Labour backbenchers, of which we've just discussed, many want his head right, already. They're going to go, right, perfect time to cause a bit of trouble, right? A lot of them don't want to see benefits get cut because their constituents telling them we won't vote for you if you cut all these benefits. It's really, really off to a rocky start, his economic plan. I think there's some good stuff there though, JJ. I mean, I do like the whole idea of cutting, business rates and hospitality. I think that's something we've actually talked about on this podcast quite a lot. We need to save stuff like pubs. We need to save restaurants. We need to save the high street. We need to make our country look and feel like a nice place to be. So it's a good in principle, but he actually needs to figure out how he's going to deliver it.
He promised no factionalism, but he's got all his mates in. 12 of Starmer's cabinet were kept on, 11 were sacked or resigned. So 50-50 pretty much. But what stands out most to me is the breakdown of who's in the cabinet from where in the country. Excuse me. This is the least amount of Londoners we've ever had, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think cabinet should not be full of people who are down in London. The Northwest has got 7. Yorkshire's got 4 MPs. North East has 2. West Midlands has 2. London's got 2. East Midlands 1. Wales 2. The South 2 and Scotland 1. That's a regional breakdown.
Me and you had a chat about this last week, didn't we? And I think I caused a bit of a stir in the comments by saying, well, London and South East makes all the money.
You did.
So why do you think it's a good thing?
I think that we can't govern a country based on the ideals of a London elite. That's why I think it's a good thing. Yeah. Even just when I go back up to Birmingham and the West Midlands where I see my family, the way that the things we need up there and the way the community works up there, very different to how it is down here in London. So we should have more people from these other areas having a say and deciding what's going to happen for the rest of the country.
Well, you said 7 from the Northwest, right? Manchester. I've been to Manchester. I mean, you've been as well, haven't you?
Yeah, of course.
It is a bit like a London of the North, right? It's kind of its own little, its own little elite kind of little kind. They've got all these like nice clubs and restaurants now.
I would say London,
a media city.
They have.
London. So I don't know if it's necessarily not a bubble.
London is the Manchester of the South, my friend. That's what I would say.
I don't disagree with you in principle. I think it was one of the Labour ministers on the broadcast round this morning, Johnny Reynolds, said something like, I'm going to try and keep my temper, but I don't remember hearing any of this about there being a lot of people from a certain part of the country being in previous cabinets, i.e. sort of saying, you know, no one was complaining when the cabinet was full of Londoners or people from the southeast. And he's got a point, right? Those cabinets should reflect the country. It should govern for the whole country. And we have had probably a bit of a problem over the last couple of decades of all investment policy focus being focused on London and the southeast.
100%.
That said, I don't think you can go full blown the other way and ignore the southeast, right? If you're just robbing Peter to pay Paul, you're not making the economy any better. You know, yes, they should increase investment in places like Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, Newcastle, Birmingham. I think actually the Midlands gets overlooked quite a lot.
It does, second city and everything.
I mean, it gets overlooked quite a lot. There should be money spent to improve these areas, but I don't think it should come at the expense of London and the southeast, because we need investment in that area, because that is what's driving the economy. You can't just take that away overnight.
Diversify. Can diversify.
Yeah.
If I could do this job from Birmingham, I'd move to Birmingham in a heartbeat.
Just to clarify, you can't.
But you know what? I spoke to a senior Labour figure yesterday, and he revealed to me the key part of Andy Burnham's 10-year plan for Britain. So I can't name who it was, but they do sit in the House of Lords, and they told me that Burnham, the prime thing he wants to do is fix the big issues that Starmer messed up on. So things like the family farm tax, that will be looked at. We know he wants to tackle homelessness. And although he hasn't had a great run of that in Manchester, the thought is that him saying, I'm going to tackle homelessness, that will stop people from the right side of politics saying, well, you're putting foreigners in houses whilst we've got Brits on the street. He can turn around and say, well, actually, me, Andy Burnham, and our future king, Prince William, are working together to eradicate homelessness. So there'll be no British people on the streets if you let us do what we need to do.
If you look at his record in Manchester, there'll be more. Look, he said when he became Manchester mayor, he wanted to end rough sleeping by 2020. Well, here's the stats for you, JJ. After the pandemic, and obviously during the pandemic, it should be said, a lot less people were sleeping on the street because they were being, for public health reasons, being brought into these little like temporary housing. There was actually a bit more of a focus. When that ended, this is what the stats were between 2021 and 2026. So there were 90 people roughly sleeping rough in Manchester in 2021. 2026, 197. This is a guy who's saying, okay, well, I'm going to eliminate rough sleeping across the country. Well, looking at his record, it's going to more than double, right? So I don't know if I'm necessarily that hopeful. And to be clear, that said, I do wish him every success. No one wants to see anyone sleeping rough. That is a horrible time of it, right? That's terrible. Great that he's focusing on it. I'm not sure he's necessarily found the way to deliver it, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe William will give him a good idea.
That's it. It's got the backing of William now, so that's a good one. He is seen as the Labour reset, and he is the only choice the party has to try and win at the next general election. And that's what it boils down to. The country was sick of Keir Starmer. I still think before Christmas, people are going to be saying, bring back Keir Starmer. I still believe that's going to happen.
Dude, no one's going to be saying that.
We'll see how badly Burnham does or how well. But his biggest concern is making the lower middle class and the working class feel that they aren't just getting by anymore.
Yeah.
That's the key to his tenureship.
It's a noble aim, but as we've spoken about in here time and time again over multiple prime ministers, it's all very well and good coming into government with good intentions, and these are good intentions. Like we do, the middle and the lower middle class particularly really need to get a bit of a handout. They've been ignored for so long.
Yeah,
you also need to know how you're going to do it. You have to be prepared. So the rumours are that Andy Burnham was plotting Starmer's downfall for a year. Right, he was working behind the scenes to get Starmer out for a year. Fair play, the guy sucked, right? But he's come in, and within a day, right, a huge plan of his to cut VAT on energy bills has been exposed in less than 12 hours as unfunded and just uncosted. He just looks completely unprepared from the get-go. Maybe he'll make a success of it, maybe he won't, but from what I'm seeing so far, he doesn't seem to have necessarily put enough thought into what he's doing.
There's one more thing I wanted to say about Starmer, actually, that my senior Labour politician told me, that this Starmer was advised, despite everything that's happened, he was advised by not necessarily Mandelson directly, but people adjacent to Mandelson to, once he was challenged for power by Burnham, once Burnham had won the by-election, Starmer was advised by these Mandelson Machiavellian characters, get out as soon as possible, because that is going to absolutely screw Andy Burnham over. Do not give him time to make a proper plan. Do not stay till September. Andy Burnham wanted Starmer until September at least, so he had 3 months to come up with a proper plan and get his eggs out. And Starmer was advised, no, if you want to screw him, if you want to pay him back, you leave as soon as you can leave. So that's what Starmer did. And this is what's paying dividends now against Burnham. This may be Starmer's smartest and darkest move ever as Prime Minister.
That is ultra Machiavellian, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's well, who suffers? The country.
Yeah.
Right.
We're the losers.
Like, it's kind of funny that Andy Burnham's being done over, but also who's paying the price?
Yeah.
You and I.
That's
the viewers at home.
That is it. Well, let's know what you think about this. By the way, it's not a reshuffle. This is a new government. This is a complete new government. It's not a reshuffle. It's a new government. So what do you think about this new government, the new cabinet? Is Andy Burnham the right man to lead the country? Is it going to save us, or is it time we just called a general election like that? Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the hype button. Bye-bye. Everything is digital now, isn't it? Your money, your photos, even your loyalty card at the coffee shop. So there's something quietly brilliant about owning one thing that isn't on a screen. Real gold bullion. The weight of it, the shine, it's just a lovely thing to hold. The Pure Gold Company, which was voted the UK's best gold broker, makes owning physical gold really simple. Tax-free gold coins from the Royal Mint with friendly one-to-one guidance from your first question to final delivery. There's no jargon, no pressure, no call centre queues. It's insured to your door or stored in a secure professional vault. So visit the Pure Gold Company today and tell them JJ sent you.